Poem 7 of the poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila, translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. This recording is in the public domain. Poem 7. The Compact. Ya toda mi entregué y di. Now am I wholly yielded up, foregone, and this the pact I made, that the Beloved should be all mine own, I his alone. Struck by the gentle hunter and overthrown, within the arms of love my soul lay prone. Raised to new life at last, this contract 'tween us passed, that the Beloved should be all mine own, I his alone. With lance embarbed with love, he took his aim, one with its maker hence my soul became. No love but his I crave, since self to him I gave, for the Beloved is mine own, I his alone. End of Poem 7. Poem 6 of the poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila, translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. This recording is in the public domain. Poem 6. Divine Beauty. O hermosura que excedías. O beauty, that doth far transcend all other beauty, thou doest deign without a wound our hearts to pain, without a pang our wills to bend, to hold all love for creatures vain. O mystic love knot, that dost bind two creatures of such diverse kind! How canst thou, then, e'er severed be? For bound, such strength we gain from thee, we take for joys the griefs we find. Things void of being linked, unite with that great beauty infinite. Thou fillest my soul, which hungers still. Thou lovest where man can find but ill. Our knot grows precious by thy might. End of Poem 6. Poem 5 of the poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila, translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. This recording is in the public domain. Poem 5. Self-surrender. Dichoso el corazón enamorado. How blessed is the heart with love fast bound on God, the center of its every thought, renouncing all created things as naught. In Him its glory and its joy are found. Even from self its cares are now set free, towards God alone it aims, its actions tend. Joyful and swift it journeys to its end, o'er the wild waves of life's tempestuous sea. End of Poem 5. Poem 4 of the poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila, translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. This recording is in the public domain. Poem 4. The Soul's Exile. Cuán triste es, Dios mío. Sadly I pine, O God of mine, afar from Thee I sigh, with yearning heart, from Thee apart, I long to die. Weary the day and long the way that on this earth we wend, a sojourn drear man passes here, an exile doomed to spend. Master adored, O worshipped Lord, I for deliverance cry, craving the grace to see Thy face, I long to die. With sorrow rife our earthly life could not more bitter be, nor can life dwell within the soul while kept apart from Thee. O Thou my sweet and only Good, in misery I sigh, craving the grace to see Thy face, I long to die. O Death benign, upon me shine, and succor Thou my pain. The blow dost deal is sweet to feel, whereby we freedom gain. What blissful fate, O my Beloved, to dwell with Thee for aye! Grant me the grace to see Thy face, and let me die. A love earthborn is ever drawn to life that's spent on earth, for life of bliss alone doth hope the love of earthly birth. Ah, who can live, eternal God, apart from Thee, I cry, craving the grace to see Thy face, I beg to die. For he who dwells in this sad world in sorrow ever sighs, since true life never can be found except in Paradise. Do Thou assist me, O my God, to win that life on high, and grant me grace to see Thy face, oh let me die. Then who would fear if death drew near to let it work its will, since thus we buy eternally a joy that lasteth still? For oh, to love Thee, God of mine, is endless ecstasy. Then grant me grace to see Thy face, because I long to die. My anguished soul doth faint for grief, and utters many a moan. Alas, what heart can live apart from him it loves alone? Free me, oh free me from the pain in which I ever lie. Bestow the grace to see Thy face, and let me die. When on the cruel hidden hook the river fish is caught, its pains and struggles by its death are to an ending brought. My only good, apart from Thee, such is my agony. Then give me grace to see Thy face, and let me die. O Master mine, my anxious soul doth seek for Thee in vain, since Thou art still invisible, nor dost relieve its pain. Then from my love thereby inflamed breaks forth the bitter cry, O grant me grace to see Thy face, that I may die. When Thou, my God, within my heart dost deign to come as guest, the instant thought of losing Thee doth lacerate my breast. Ah, woe is me! My anguish keen doth make me moan and sigh, to win the grace to see Thy face, and seeing, die. Lord, finish this long agony in which so long I groan, and render Thy poor handmaid help, who craves for Thee alone. Let me be happy. Shatter Thou the chains in which I lie, and give me grace to see Thy face, and then to die. But no, not so, beloved Lord. My pain is the just meed whereby I expiate my sins and many an evil deed. My groans and tears plead in Thine ears, and for Thy mercy sigh. Oh, grant me grace to see Thy face, and seeing, die. End of Poem 4. Poem 3 of the Poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila, translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Poem 3. The Soul's Desire, Second Version. Vivo sin vivere en mí. A life apart, estranged from myself, is now my lot because I die of love. And since our Lord has sought me for His own, in Him, not in myself, I live and move. For when my heart to Christ I wholly gave, therein this epigraph did He engrave, that I should die because I do not die. This mystic union of love divine, this bond whereby alone my soul doth live, hath made my God my captive, yet to me true liberty of heart the while doth give. And yet my spirit is so sorely pained, when I behold my Lord by me enchained, that still I die because I do not die. Alas, how wearisome a waste is life, how hard a fate to bear my exile here, where locked in iron fetters lies my soul, a prisoner in earth's mournful dungeon drear. And yet to muse upon the day relief shall come, doth wound with such tormenting grief, that still I die because I do not die. Achieve thy task, forsake me utterly, O life, I pray of thee, molest me not. For when I die, throughout eternity, what but to joy and live will be my lot? Delay thou not, to mitigate my grief, O death, but in thy pity bring relief, because I die in that I do not die. End of Poem 3. Poem 2 of the Poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila, translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Poem 2. The Soul's Desire, First Version. Vivo sin vivere en mí. I live, but yet I live not in myself, for since aspiring to a life more high, I ever die because I do not die. This mystic union of love divine, the bond whereby alone my soul doth live, hath made of God my captive, but to me true liberty of heart the while doth give. And yet my spirit is so sorely pained at gazing on my Lord by me enchained, that still I die because I do not die. Alas, how wearisome a waste is life, how hard a fate to bear! In exile here, fast locked in iron fetters lies my soul, a prisoner in earth's mournful dungeon drear. But yet the very hope of some relief doth wound my soul with such tormenting grief, that still I die because I do not die. No life so bitter, none so sad as mine, while exiled from my Lord my days are spent. For though to love be sweet, yet hope deferred is wearisome. From life's long banishment, O God, relieve me from this mournful freight, which crushes with a more than leaden weight, so that I die because I do not die. I live, since death must surely come at last. Upon that hope alone my trust I build. For when this mortal life shall die, at length, my longings then will wholly be fulfilled. Come, death, come, bring life's certainty to me. O tarry thou no more, I wait for thee, and ever die because I do not die. Behold, how strong to master us is love! Molest me, life, no more. Wouldst thou attain thine end, lose thou thyself, for by that loss alone canst thou the life eternal gain. Come, gentle death, sweet death, do thou delay no moment longer that most welcome day, whereon I die because I do not die. We do but dream we live in earthly life, our sole true life is that of heaven on high. Nor can existence any true delight confer until this mortal life shall die. O death, I pray thee, shun me not in scorn, for life to me is but a death forlorn, wherein I die because I do not die. Say, life, what is there I can do for him, my God, who in my heart his home doth make, except supremer joy in him attain by forfeiture of thee for his dear sake? O longed for death, that maketh all mine own him whom my heart aspireth for alone, the while I die because I do not die. Apart from thee, my God, my one desire I long for. What is life disconsolate, save lengthened agony of life prolonged? Ne'er have I looked upon so sad a fate. I grieve to see my soul's most mournful state, beset with ills so wholly consummate, that still I die because I do not die. The gasping fish finds easement from its hurt in death, when drawn out from its native wave, and all the agony that dying brings is cured by death itself within the grave. Can any death with mine in pain compare, or rival this most grievous life I bear, wherein I die because I do not die? Anon my heart begins to find relief while gazing on thee in the sacred host. Yet seeing that I still enjoy thee not, 'tis then I feel my exile from thee most. Thus all I see doth but increase my pain, while still I languish for thy sight in vain, and ever die because I do not die. If e'er the hope of looking on thy face inspires my heart with gladness and relief, the dread lest I may lose thee in the end renews with twofold pang my bitter grief. Thus fast beset with oft recurring fears, I wait and hope, slow pass the weary years, while still I die because I do not die. Deliver me in mercy from this death, and grant, O God, the gift of life at last. Nor let me linger in captivity, enchained to earth with bonds and fetters fast. I die with longing to behold Thee near, and gain true life. Without Thy presence dear, behold, I die because I do not die. Henceforth I will bewail my living death, in mournful lay my woeful life lament, while thus my sins detain me in the world long exiled. From this earthly banishment, O God, when will the dawn of that glad day deliver, when at last I truly say that now I die because I do not die? End of Poem 2. Poem 1 of the Poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Anne Boulay. The Poetry of Saint Teresa of Avila. Translated from the Spanish by the Benedictines of Stanbrook. Poem 1. Self-Oblation. Vuestro soy, para vos nací. Lord, I am thine, for I was born for thee. Reveal what it is thou dost ask of me. O sovereign Lord, of majesty supreme, O wisdom that existed from all time, O bounty, showing pity on my soul, God, one sole being, merciful, sublime, behold this basest of all created things, as thus, with hardihood its love it sings, and tell me, Lord, what thou dost ask of me. Lo, I am thine, thou hast created me, and I am thine, thou hast redeemed me. And I am thine, for thou dost bear with me, and thine, for thou hast called me to thee. And thine, who dost preserve me at thy cost, nor leavest me to perish mid the lost. Say what it is, Lord, thou dost will of me. Declare what dost decree, O Master kind, if serf so vile have any fitting task, and tell what office by thy will ordained is work that from so base a slave dost ask. Behold, sweet love, I wait for thy command. Behold me, Lord, before whose face I stand. Do thou reveal what thou dost will of me? Behold my heart, which here I bring, and in thy hand as glad entire free offering lay, together with my body, life and soul, the love, the longings that my being sway. To thee, Redeemer and most gentle Spouse, in willing holocaust I pledge my vows. What is there, Lord, that I may do for thee? Bestow long life, or straightway bid me die. Let health be mine, or pain and sickness send. With honor or dishonor, be my path beset by war, or peaceful till the end. My strength or weakness, be as thou shalt choose, for naught thou askest shall I e'er refuse. I only wish what thou wilt have of me. Assign me riches, keep in poverty, and let me cherished or neglected dwell. In joy or mourning, as thou wilt, upraised to highest heaven or hurled down to hell. Whether the sky be bright, from cloudlets free, it matters not, I leave the choice to thee. What lot, O Lord, wilt thou decide for me? Give contemplation if thou wilt, or let my lonely soul in dryness ever pine. Abundance and devotion be the gift thou choosest, or a sterile soul be mine. O Majesty supreme, in naught apart from thy decree can I find peace of heart. Say what it is, Lord, thou dost wish of me. Lord, give me wisdom, or if love demand, leave me in ignorance. It matters not if mine be years of plenty or beset with famine dire and with parching drought. Be darkness over all or daylight clear, dispatch me hither or keep me stationed here. Say what it is, Lord, thou wilt have of me. If thou shouldest destine me for happiness, for love's sake, joy and happiness I greet. Bid me endure and labor till I die, resigned, in work and pain my death I'll meet. Reveal the how, the where, the when, for this is the sole boon, O love, I crave of thee, that thou declare what thou wouldst have of me. Let Calvary or Thabor be my fate, a desert or a fertile land of rest. Like Job, in sorrow let me mourning weep, or lie like John in peace upon thy breast. Bear fruit and flourish, or a withered vine I'll perish fruitless, so the choice be thine. Reveal, O Lord, what thou dost ask of me. Like Joseph, as he lay in shackles bound, or holding over Egypt first command, David chastised, atoning for his sins, or David crowned as ruler o'er the land, with Jonah struggling, mid the raging sea submerged, or set from ills and tempests free. Declare, O Lord, what thou wilt have of me. Then bid me speak or bid me silence keep. Make me a fecund or a barren land, expose my wounds by the stern law's decree, or comfort me by gospel message bland. Let me in torture lie or comfort give, I crave alone that thou within me live, and shouldest reveal what thou wilt have of me. End of Poem 1.